Yo, it's the culture, it's the bars, it's the aggression, it's the lyrical combat. It's two battlers in a dog fight. That's what I like. It's the breakdown, baby. Get your bars up.
Hey yo, get your bars up, baby. It's the breakdown. Baby. It's the breakdown.
Yo, it's a level of competition for me. Two battlers locked in a verbal annihilation, a dog fight. You're bringing the bars, you're bringing the wordplay, the attributes that make a battler, that makes the battler grand. It's a breakdown, baby. Get your bars up. Fuck with us. One night a week. The move.
Surf,
Winged and friends.
Surf versus T-Top. You know, I'm pretty sure like 80% of the battle community was saying he has to win this battle. You know, if he doesn't win this battle, he's done. I was one of few that was saying that ain't true. You know what I'm saying? Because you end up being the Mayweather type of shit. The way the Mayweather position where people is paying to see you win or lose. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Surf knows this. I've actually had these conversations with Surf. And he said it in interviews as well. He's like, I'm all about image. I mean, his image has transcended, you know what I'm saying, what we're used to in battle rap, which is smart. He has a big following for a reason. Big followings in battle rap don't just come from you being able to spit bars. If that was the case, then XL would be putting up murder mook views. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Correct.
So at the end of the day, you have to have the it factor. The it factor comes from your aura, you know, what you wear, keeping a fucking fresh haircut on camera, like even small shit like that, believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? It's the whole image that comes with it. In the music industry, they say all the time, it's the fat girl. No disrespect to my big girls because I'm a BBW type of guy on the low.
Salute.
But salute. But think about it. They say it's the fat girl in the background that writes the lyrics, and then Beyonce gets on stage and sings it. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is in battle rap too, because it's all entertainment. Image counts. And that's why when everybody's, you know, just riding trends, oh, he lost, he just had a bad battle with Red Bull, I'm like, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Because when he books his next battle, everybody's going to watch that too. You know, you got bloggers that go through a whole blog, trash and Surf. And they get to the very end of the blog, and they say some key words. At the end of the blog, they say, I'm going to tell you what, your next battle, you better go in. Right there.
Yeah.
Right there. That moment right there shows you that Surf won. He didn't have to win or lose to T-Top. It didn't matter. He could still, we're looking forward to his next battle too. Like, cut it out. Like,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to read at the entertainment world and how it moves.
Definitely. And me and Wing had this conversation. We was going to bring it up last week on the show, but we had a couple callers call in. And you know, when you get battle rap fans around each other, like it just, you know, we just talking about everything. But what I wanted to bring to the table was because everybody said that Surf lost his last three battles. You feel me?
Yeah.
They say he lost versus Suge. They say he lost versus Rex, and he lost versus Bird. But so you know, like pure battle rap fans will always try to hold these type of things against you. But when you look at the views that Surf and T-Top got through the first week, that lets you know right there that it doesn't matter how many battles he loses. His image was built so high, and he's so popular in battle rap that he could probably lose his next three battles. But if he's still in a fight, if he puts up a fighting effort, his fan base is still going to be there. Like his fan base is really solid.
Yeah. And not even just his fan base. You know, I don't even want to say just that. Because the same people that will claim not to be a part of his fan base might hate on him and be like, man, fuck him, he's trash now, whatever, boom, boom, boom. And at home, in the midst of their privacy, you know what? Oh, Surf versus XYZ just dropped. Quick play. You know what I'm saying? I got a battle that I think is going to be like that on Liquor Soul 3. You know what I'm saying? I have Math Hopper versus Show Off on the card. Now, people might attack Math. Actually, I'm seeing some of the feedback. He's done interviews. I've looked at some of the comments since then. I looked at some of the feedback since the battle dropped. And at the end of the day, people, you know, when they see a card get announced or a battle get announced, they think about, okay, what was the last shit you just did? It's a very what have you done for me now type of culture. You know what I'm saying? Or what have you done for me lately type of culture. So they'd be like, okay, Math is on an upcoming card. Crazy RBE card. Let's think about his last battle. Nope, he's washed. You know what I'm saying? But when you think about it, it's like, wait a minute. These are two Brooklyn bullies on a stage that is known for producing good battles. You know what I'm saying? RBE always books their shit well in advance to have the artists have enough time to prep. You know what I'm saying? The business is always solid. You don't hear anything bad about the business, so you're not going to get none of that, well, I only got paid $20, so I'm only bringing one round. You know what I'm saying? And then you think about it, you be like, wait a minute, I think I do want to see Math versus Show Off. And even if you don't say it, when it drops, you're probably going to click play just to see how it turned out. Whether you hate Math or you love Math. And the same goes for Show Off. Whether you hate Show Off or you love Show Off. Let me see how this shit turned out because the matchup is intriguing. And at the end of the day, you know what some of these people are capable of. So you're saying, all right, he might have just did this, his last battle, and the one before that. Fuck it. Let me go ahead and see what he's going to do now. Same thing happens to Surf. Same thing happens to Matt.
Definitely.
And you got to keep it real with yourself and admit that. That's the problem. That's why, and this whole conversation right here got started when you asked me about fickle fans. Because you know I'm on it at the end of the day. And that's the point. Like, if you're going to support it, if you're going to watch it, if you're going to buy a ticket, if you're going to buy a pay-per-view, if you're going to blog on it, if you're going to speak about it in interviews, why tear it down to begin with? Because you actually have a level of interest in it. You're just not looking in the mirror and being honest with yourself that you're interested by it. That's the truth.
Right.
That's the truth.
Yeah,
interest comes in many forms. Just stop lying to yourself. That's it.
Right, because a lot of people ride waves, you feel what I'm saying? Nobody wants to be far left. So if everybody's moving right and saying that this person fell off, they might still like the person, but they're like, well, I don't want to be left alone, so I'm just going to run right with these guys. You feel me? Because that's the foundation. That's the foundation of Rare Breed Entertainment. And that's the reason why we've carved out such a unique field. That's why we have our own place in battle rap, and now, confidently speaking, battle rap history. That's why. Because when everybody goes right, a Rare Breed has no problem at all, confidently going left. I tell people all the time, me and my brother Shaka, who started Rare Breed Entertainment, had Rare Breed tattooed on us well before we created this platform. Because that's our mentality, that's how we've always lived, that's how we always moved. So when we created this platform, we said, yo, we're getting into battle. We're going to start our own platform. What we're going to call it. All we did was put the E on the entertainment. That's it. That's it.
And you guys are definitive of that. You are definitely definitive of that.
And that's that's where the consistency comes from. You know what I'm saying? You can't fake this, or you can't, you know what I'm saying? Our consistency would have been broken by now. Once again, we announced our first card in 2013. You know what I'm saying? We're moving into 2017. You know, our personalities, the way we are, the way I talk, it's remained consistent. This is me. You know what I mean? So this is us. And that's where it comes from. Just the way we are in general.
And I think with the fickle fans, I mean, because you guys, as we were kind of talking about, but you guys kind of went through that with RBE. We knew you for, like I said, for being around. So it was like, for me, I don't know, I just have intuitions for when it comes to battle rap. And it's just like, or just really business. But I just felt like, you know, people felt like, okay, you took the URL rejects and you did this and you did that. But to me, what you did was and of course, everybody has their biasness. To me, it's OD bias, and there's just, I favor this person, I like this person, I want to give them a chance. You know, people felt like with Jims, for instance, Jims was trash, but Jims, I respect him because Jims has a heart of a lion. I mean, he's a beast, but he also studies the craft. He talks his shit, but he's going to study. And so you pushed him. You see what I'm saying? And you pushed a lot of the guys, whereas it was just like, to me, you didn't give a battle to any battler that you feel didn't deserve it. And I think that's really where the fickleness comes from in some aspect, because for me, battle rap is becoming, it's just becoming like a popularity sport. And it just comes time where I don't want to watch certain shit. You know, I don't, listen, this is not going to be for me, it's not taking shots at anybody, but.
But before you before you get into the history run, if you just do me a favor, let me take a history run back. And it doesn't bother me because, I'm very confident in what RBE has done in the culture and how we've changed and shifted certain aspects of the culture. But even the URL rejects thing, some fans, and sometimes that comes from a place of ignorance, and don't be disrespected by the word ignorance when you look at the definition of it. The whole rejects thing was never true, and I can speak facts to it. And I have no problem just taking people on a quick history run so they learn something new. Now, a lot of people would think that the early start of RBE, probably consisting of our first cards, New Year Order, Lifted Soul 1, and Blood, Sweat, and Tears, the very first card that got pushed into Battle Rap, Switching the Tears, where you see rookies versus vets, okay? Now, when you think about the platform building on those bricks right there, you think about people like Show Off, you think about people like Big Cannon, you think about people like Jim, you think about people like Oops, Adi Boom, you know what I'm saying? These were never URL rejects to RBE. A lot of these people actually were going through reject moments because of RBE coming into the game. That's a big difference. For example, Jims was booked for Rich Dollars on Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and then he got a call from Norbs to battle Bad News in a PG. I told Jims, go do your PG. Don't drop that opportunity. Jims will co-sign this in the timeline of the battles, and when everything got booked in the contracts, I could show my side easily. We'll co-sign. The same thing happened with Adi Boom. After Adi Boom had a Quiet Room battle versus Merrick City, I booked him for a one-rounder in 2013 versus Averb. After that, he had a PG. We actually were booking Adi Boom at the same time. Show Off has said it in trailers. It's all on the channel, and he said it in actually a recent interview talking about Matt Hopper that just dropped the other day. He's reminding people of how he and I started to work. You know what I'm saying? Like when me and Show Off started to work, I went to a Trap House card where he got ducked for a battle. He walked up to me. He had a fill-in opponent, and he told me, yo, hey, you know what I'm saying? I was at your last event, your first event, which was New Year Order. I know you're a league owner. I want you to watch me work because I'm about to catch a body and I want to touch your stage. I said, okay, cool. And he kept his word. The motherfucker got on stage and caught a body versus this dude from Philly that choked crazy, forgot his raps. And I said, no problem. I'm putting you on my second card versus Hazy Williams. You know what I'm saying? And then he ended up having, like, I think a Blacksmith PG. And matter of fact, his Briz Rothstein PG kind of dropped around the same time that he got booked. And then he had a Blacksmith battle that got booked after his Hazy Williams battle, and that footage never came out because they were having some other issues that had nothing to do with RBE. You could even say Big Cannon. Big Cannon got booked for a one-rounder on our very first card versus Moneybags because I went to his card, The Awakening, the whole card of one-rounders where you saw Charlie Cooks versus JC, Big Cannon versus Cortez. When I saw him perform versus Cortez in that one-rounder, I said, man, he's one of my favorite battlers now. That's when I moved him into my top 3. And I told him that, and then I booked him versus Moneybags because Moneybags had a one-rounder versus Snow. And he went crazy in a one-rounder. And I said, wow, that's a perfect one-rounder. These are all facts. We never had rejects. You know what I'm saying? The timing, the contracts, and the bookings and what these battlers will tell you, and even battles that have happened on URL because I said, no, go take that battle. It's all facts. I can't make this shit up. I can't fabricate it. But what happens is they started getting into issues with URL. Some of it is because URL at the time didn't like some people that was working with them, working with another league that was popping up and starting to create energy in New York. And they started to say, well, you can't do this, you can't do that. Adi Boom, you can't battle JC if you're going to fuck with us or whatever. And they started beefing with these guys, and then these guys all started getting upset at the treatment that they was going through URL. People like Jay Murder getting dubbed and Jims having his battle drop on the War Report. All of this shit. I never put people through that for working with me. But URL did. That's how they started treating those battlers. And then they started doing interviews complaining about URL's tactics, and then it became the rejects. This is all facts. So we never
Let me ask you.
started.
Oh, go ahead. I'm going to let you
rejects.
finish that.
It was just the timeline of things is all true, all facts. I could back it up easily. So that's all.
Let me ask you, since we're kind of piggybacking off of that, or I want to anyway. Let me ask you a question, and I know you see all. Do you have an opinion? I guess I'll form it that way. Do you have an opinion about some comments that Organic made in regard to kind of what's going on in battle rap, battles being sabotaged, battles being taken, you know, kind of, you know, I mean, like he said, he had a great point. Everybody had, you know, everybody uses different talent. And to me, it makes sense. You know what I mean? It's all about how you handle it. I could understand URL with the contract. I could understand any league with a contract because when you know what I mean, to a degree, when you start making money, or, you know, who's to say that you're even making money on the platform that you're on? But you're just kind of grinding to get your weight up. But at the point that you start making money, or if this league over here in Timbuktu is going to pay you some money or whatever, you kind of want to make it to where you kind of keep it to where they're not being saturated, or they're not being, you know, they're not sabotaging their career, so to speak, to just, you know, just shorten that whole explanation. But Organic made a big point. Like, go ahead.
The saturation comments started initially as a defense mechanism towards other leagues booking talent. It wasn't about protecting the battlers, and I actually spoke up to this because I did a lot of speaking up for the battlers, some that still went back on their word, and some that stuck their ground and stuck to their principles. But, you know, one thing about me, I'm not stupid. I wasn't born yesterday. I'm a very, very intelligent person. And like I said, it was very clear that the saturation talk that was going on in, I think, 2015, it wasn't about protecting the battlers. It was about trying to keep the talent to leagues. For example, I mean, I don't hear people complain about Charlie Clips and DNA. You know what I'm saying? Like what happened was during that time, and I have blogs that dated on the channel, timestamping this. You know, you have people that was going after JC, going after Danny Myers, the easy targets, the small targets, the smaller names, the people that don't put up that many views, and the people that you don't care about booking. They were getting targeted and used for a saturation, you know, topic to put out to the fans and push an agenda. You know, but that same thing applied to DNA and Charlie Clips at the time, but Charlie Clips and DNA doesn't get targeted because they were actually still being close to the leagues and being booked by these leagues. So right there, you already falsify your statement. It becomes invalid to somebody like me that has intelligence. You know what I'm saying? So the whole saturation thing was built on bullshit. It wasn't meant to protect the battlers. You know what I mean? And that's one thing that usually comes to the surface. If your tactics are only geared to benefit yourself, eventually that comes to the surface. One thing about RBE, our tactics have always been mutual. We go into mutual situations. So we think about the battlers just as much as we think about ourselves. When we negotiate, we want to have a fair situation. And I have blogs up on my channel saying that I have contracts with people that was supposed to get $0, yet at the end of the event, I still paid them. Here, take this $500. You see what I'm saying? I don't even take advantage of opportunities when I don't have to pay people. You know what I mean? Because that gets returned in some form, whether it be some type of royalty, whether it be some type of classic battle performance, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe I'll need a favor later on, and it'll come back to me in different ways. You know what I mean? I understand that business is business, and don't hear shit like this, people, and think that we're fooled or think that we're stupid. But at the same time, we understand how to move amongst people and treat people as we expect to be treated so that we can maximize the situation. All right? So I can't be bullshit about a saturation, folks. That's number one. Now, to Organic's comments, I don't know about all the comments that he might have made, but the one that I reposted on my Instagram, to summarize what he said, was that I've used talent from other leagues the same way they've used talent from my league, but what I've never done is I've never taken talent from another league that is being developed and tried to contract them away from that league. And I reposted that only because I know of several leagues that has happened to, and I'm not going to name them now because I'll give them their own opportunity to speak up for themselves, but I didn't know that happened to King of the Dot. And Organic being such a big and respected league owner, I had to repost it because sometimes people only expect credibility coming from the size you are, which is stupid, but okay, let me show y'all that, wow, this is happening to one of the biggest leagues out there, one of the most respected leagues out there. And I clearly said in my post, to be honest, like, oh, wow, we encountered this too. I have facts. I have people that'll back up what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I have all types of shit that I could bring to the fans on any day if I want. But I just try to mind my business and work. But there's things that is going to go but so far where you're going to start having leagues and league owners speaking up. And when league owners and battlers start speaking up, that's when things start looking real dirty. And I think people should always respect a certain code in battle rap. Business is business.
Right.
You have reasons for blocking a battle where you feel like you have a contract in place or whatever. I respect that because at the end of the day, the battle signed that. If he didn't read his stipulations, that's on him. But if you're reaching out to talent that is being developed and you're trying to contract them away from that league, and I'm seeing that happen in King of the Dot, I'm seeing that happen at RBE, and I'm hearing about it happen at other leagues that haven't spoke out yet, nah, it's going to start coming out. It's going to start coming out, and deservingly so, because to me, that's not good business. You know what I'm saying? Because that invalidates some of the things that you preach. Because everybody screams about having their own talent, so then when people develop their own talent, you should respect it, right?
Right. Right.
Okay, enough said.
Well, and again, I don't know. I like everybody should have a code. Definitely. It's to me, it's so much that battle rap is missing. There is the saturation of leagues, but everybody to me is trying to put on for the place that they're in with their own unique feel. You know what I mean? I feel like popularity with some leagues, which bigger or whatever. Like, for instance, I appreciate the fact that you had Mr. Mills on. You know what I mean? He had a mid-level PG, but it's like Mr. Mills has been dope from him and Jay Roan, him and Danny. I mean, the men has put in work. And not for nothing. He kind of has gone through his issues or whatnot, so it's kind of made some of his performances a little lackluster. But at the end of the day, we know his body of work, and we know this man is dope. You feel me? It's just like...
Can I interject real quick? Because Mr. Mills been my dude since 2011. I remember watching his battles when he was battling on camera. You feel to say, like, one dude would be over here, then they
when he was battling Cassius. What was his name? Cassius? Was it Cassius Clay?
Yep. Cassius Clay. My dude from Detroit.
BBL battles or something like that. I know that they were doing cam battles. I remember that. Yep.
I've been rocking with him for a long time, man. To see his progression, where he came from, and him sticking with it and going to where he's at now, man. Salute to him. Salute.
I had
the
first two battles that I saw from Mr. Mills, where it really said, I got to try to book this guy and get him onto RBE, was of course the Danny Myers battle. That's a classic to me. That was one of the best battles of that year, and he has a battle versus West Coast Dread. That I think they're not even together. I remember that one.
That's my man too. So, shout out to West Coast Dread.
Yeah, that right there. That was either the first or the second battle I saw him, and I said, wow. I did also see him when I was in Chicago at was the Crown 1, maybe? That might have been it. And I think we started talking there while we were both in Chicago. But ever since then, I gave him his first battle on RBE on our second card, Listed Soul versus Oops. And Oops at the time, we was really, really building Oops, because Oops was actually literally the first battle to ever touch the RBE stage. He opened up our first card, you know what I'm saying, versus a Staten Island battler named Blu-ray. And I was very, very interested in the story. I had a lot of respect for him as a man, the conversation we was having as we was building as friends and shit. So then we gave Mills the Oops in the second battle because we looked at Mills as being a very, very solid test. And he ended up beating Oops, we were grooming as our first golden child. You know what I'm saying? But we said, you want to know what? We fuck with both of y'all. So we're going to bring Oops back on the card after. We're going to give him Old Red. And we're going to bring Mills back eventually. And we started giving him battle after battle after battle that he deserves. You see the names that we're giving him. And he's got some more that's going on in store in 2017. So shout out to the homie Mr. Mills. He's been true.
That's dope.
Facts, man.
That is so dope. That is really, really dope. I mean, so let's talk Ab and chess. I saw your recap. Let's talk that. I think well, it ain't no thing to me. I have Ab. I definitely have Ab. I felt like that should have been, well, I kind of felt like that should have been in the running, but I know you made the 50 blogs before that came out, so I could see why that wouldn't have been. And I'm kind of going to kind of go all around the world with this. Some people feel like Av is gassed, and Av is somebody that I've been watching for about 4 years, and I've been rooting for him forever. He has not always been this nice, but the progression definitely can be seen. I saw an interview with Goods yesterday. Goods is like, we ain't even had that Av conversation. Nah.
You want to know why you're hearing some of the top tiers saying? I think Goods might have said it, and I think Averb might have said that. The reason why some of the top tiers are saying I'll battle Av later, not now, is because, and it's true, it really does happen in the world of entertainment. Period, not just battle rap, but people really, really get behind what's new. You know what I'm saying? It happens to leaks too. This is how real I'm going to keep it with you. I think by our third card, maybe even on our second card, there was tweets and some comments of RBE is better than URL. And I'll be the first one to tell you that's not fair to URL. That wasn't fair. You know, all the work that they put in, you know what I'm saying? And all the classics that they put on and the years that they put in before RBE started, it's not fair to URL. You know, it happened to RBE too. RBE put in work since 2013, and then Bullpen came. And then people started saying, yo, is Bullpen an RBE, or has Bullpen, you know what I'm saying? And you can have your personal preference, but that might be another unfair situation. Like, give all of these leagues their opportunity to put their work in and be consistent. And that's what happens with somebody like Ab, because it happens to battlers too. That's the point I'm trying to say. It happens across the board in entertainment. Ab is so new that the top tiers are smart enough to know that they've been around so long, the fans have seen them so much, that when those guys get on that stage, their very few first bars they're going to go crazy over, because this new guy that has this energy, and Ab is talented as shit, is saying this shit to this old guy that we're used to. And you have to win that initial battle, which is an uphill fight. That's an uphill fight. So it's like, let him battle a few more times, to the point where the fans could say, okay, we know everything that he's got, we fuck with him, cool. Now it's an even playing field when it's like me versus you. You know what I'm saying? Correct. I'm not coming into a battle that you already want to see me lose because I'm going up against a new hot sensation. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you really can't bitch up too, because that's part of battle rap.
But wait,
you know what I'm saying? And it's funny.
Not to cut you off, but I do want to say this. No, not to I totally agree with what you're saying, but not to. You feel what I'm saying? I got to throw this curveball out there. In 2015, Smack did have the rookies versus vets card. You feel what I'm saying? And majority of the rookies lost, if not all of them. But at the same time, I feel as though that did kind of make the vets step their game up as well. I know Wing is going to hate me for this,
but at the same way you interjected that, I could interject this. Before there was Rookies and Vets, there was Blood, Sweat, and Tears. That was the actual original card that was structured like that in battle rap, and that didn't happen on Blood, Sweat, and Tears. You didn't see all the rookies lose. I don't know if our card was designed better, but maybe it was matched up better. I don't know. But you didn't see all the lower rookies or whatever lose on Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
That's very accurate. That's very accurate.
So at the end of the day, and it's funny, I was just having this conversation in Boom when I went to go see him the other day. Like, we talked about Ab real quick, because he's like, yo, who's hot right now? I'm like, Ab is one of those guys, and I don't know how many people's going to listen to this interview and even know this. Boom battled Ab. Boom is like, yo, I keep hearing this in my emails. And he's like, yo, when did Ab, he's like, Boom is like, when did Ab get this crazy? I
told niggas that the other day. Niggas thought, here go. You know what? I'm so sorry, because you just stuck on. Listen, I fucks with Ab the long way. These niggas know. They know me by my government. See,
So they know I've been fucking with these niggas since I found Facebook groups. I wasn't on them in the unbiases and all that. You feel me? I just watched this shit.
Or some shit.
I mean, I'm saying because niggas is like, all this and that and the other. Nigga, Ab put in work. Niggas don't know. Him and Adi, and I mean, that's when Adi was hot. I mean,
but you want to know what's so funny? But you want to know what's so funny? I could turn that into a different topic. You know, I was just having this conversation with Arsenal yesterday on the phone. That's the difference between fans that, you know, really, really follow battle rap and just do what's big and what's shiny or what's popular for the moment. And that's fine. I don't hate on either type of fan. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
But I remember I dropped a blog maybe like over a year and a half ago, and I was really trying to point out the difference between developing talent and marketing talent. That was the whole point. And for you to sit here and say, Av is nothing new, same thing that we just basically said about Mr. Mills. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But what happens is, now he's battling on URL. URL has over 500,000 subscribers, and people are seeing him for the first time. Same thing happens on King of the Dot. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, Cortez versus B-Dot wasn't the first time we saw B-Dot. Same thing happened on, you know, RBE. You know what I mean? You have guys that are getting very big profiles on RBE. That's not the first time that they battled. You know, so that's just what happened. You know, you got to remind the fans, like, yeah, Av battled Adi Boom. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, Show Off's first battle wasn't versus Hazy Williams on RBE. He battled Adi Boom too on Spitters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, T-Top's first battle wasn't on, you know what I'm saying, URL. He battled on Spit That Heat. He battled on UW. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you gotta
Lamar's
know
first battle wasn't Spit That Heat. Yeah, he battled Grind Time. Niggas don't know that. Grind Time ATL.
And there you go. And there you go. Craig Lamar's first battle, definitely. Craig Lamar is blowing up now from RBE, humbly speaking. But I'll still be the first one to tell you. But I'll still be the first one to tell you. Obviously, I know that he didn't fucking do his thing off of RBE, or else I would have booked him for his first battle versus one of the best battlers in the world. You know what I'm saying? So people can't, like, let's not front to the fans. Let's keep it real with the fans, and also the fans got to keep it real with themselves. And if they're unsure about something, just go do your homework. That's all.
That's it. Niggas don't, just as well as some of the top tiers are saying that some of the new guys don't study the craft. Well, I feel the same way about some of them, but that statement to me also coincides with new fans. I was watching an interview with Hitman, and he was like, you know what, basically he has his status, he has his fans, he has his numbers, but he's still doing this shit, although the whole money issue with URL or whatever, but he feels like, you know what, I'm still trying to gain these new fans. I want to put on for these new fans. Like, that hunger is still there to continue to gain the respect of the new fan. But the new fan doesn't know the history of certain battles. And not to say, I mean, even then, to try to go back past 2006 is kind of hard, because there's still not, I mean, you may see stuff that's on YouTube, but some of them don't know where to find that. Some of them don't know the backstories, you know, or whatever. For me, I didn't totally get into battle rap by way of Smack DVDs. I came into that. Yeah. My ex-husband used to watch it, so I came into that. But before that, it was Grind Time. It was Scribble Jams. It was The Jungle. It was stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, and then I'm from the West.
Don't forget Blaze battles.
You know,
When I started watching battle rap, like, of course I was a DVD guy. I'm from New York, you know what I'm saying? So I remember Canal Street when Canal Street was really Canal Street. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about bootlegs. Like, you was going out there and getting your real CDs. You was getting your real K-Slade double disc CDs, Drama King series. You was getting your real DJ mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? You was getting your real DVDs, Cocaine City, Smack DVD, Come Up DVD, all of that shit. That's where French Montana comes from. You know what I'm saying? So all of that whole era, even before DVDs started blowing up, you know what I'm saying? It was like still buzzing of Philly versus New York. And then when you really started getting the first wave of DVDs, that's why I could tell you about people like who's Merc, who's Young Merc, who's Young Sam. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew NH. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Philly, that's how the whole Philly versus New York shit started.
That's what you were
You know what I'm saying?
talking
Like,
about in that
I remember those
2016
arcs.
battle rap thought. That was dope. That was dope.
Yeah. And then you got some World Star shit was kicking up, you know what I'm saying? You got things like Lions Den, you got things like Fight Club, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to Smack because, you know, they definitely picked up certain areas and took it to the next level. You gotta respect that. You gotta respect that. But once again, knowing your history, so then as much as I could appreciate what Smack has brought to the game, I could appreciate what maybe Lions Den or Fight Club or Grind Time or with Philly DVDs like Headshot and all that shit when they was going back and forth, even when they're not on DVD together, just sending their verses at each other like Reed Dollars and Cicero and Joey Jihad and Meek Mill from Bloodhound Days and all that shit. I followed all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And the same goes in the music. Like we just had these motherfuckers on stage fucking up Biggie's lyrics. You know what I'm saying?
You talked about
so that. Yeah,
okay.
and that's why you have to do your homework. And one reason why fans and new battlers should do your homework in battle rap is for nothing else to at least know where creativity is coming from. If I was a battler, I would do my homework so I don't say some shit or do some shit or formulate some shit that's already been done. And if I was a fan, I could appreciate that much more when I know the evolution of the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I could appreciate and understand the differences in a B-Dot because I go back and I watch all Loaded Lux. So I could see the differences. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you don't know that until you do the homework and you go study it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't really appreciate what it is to truly, truly break down a third round until you go back to some old Matt Hoffa battle. You can't really, truly, truly appreciate what it is to angle your opponent to death until you watch some old
Mook battles. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
I don't want to cut you off.
Go ahead.
No,
you want to cut me off because I make sense, so I'm actually gonna pull back.
No,
Go ahead.
I'm not saying because you make sense because you talking about the history, man.
Man.
I want to explain my history a little bit as well. I've been watching the Blaze.
My bad. Go ahead. Do your thing, homie.
Oh no. I've been watching battle rap since they was coming on HBO. The Blaze battles with Shells and shit. So I've been watching this shit since forever. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So when people talk about somebody like Tay Rock, I was like, I've been watching him since he was like 14 years old. And I wasn't as big of a fan as I am now, but I've been watching him. You feel what I'm saying? Like when he battled Lil Nay. And a lot of people don't know that Big K's first battle that was on the big stage was against the dude that Tay Rock battled in Baltimore. His name is Lil Nay. Now, if we really want to go back through the history of these things, I'm glad that you brought up Murder Mook too, and this is why he's still my favorite battle rapper of all times, because some of the things that he brought to the table, nobody was doing it. Mentioning other battle rappers during his round, first person that did that was Murder Mook. First person that came up with a story when he was battling Sirius Jones, Smack called me up, I was getting some hit, all that, Murder Mook did that. Nobody else was that. You feel me? Everybody was just going straight forward with bars. We had DNA on because I've been watching for so long, we had DNA on the show last week. And Wing asked him about NWX, and I had to cut him off. I said, a lot of people don't even know who was the first two members of NWX. You feel what I'm saying? Because I was really, like, inhabited in battle rap because, like, I really enjoy it. I kind of fell out of the loop for a little bit, for probably like a year or two. But it's just like riding a bike. You can just pick it right back up. You see the little nuances of battle rap in certain aspects of it that other fans don't get. So basically, to get to my point is, it's kind of hard to have a debate with a battle rap fan because they will eventually expose themselves if they're a new fan or an old fan. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's very
It'll come
easy
out
to pick
in
up
a conversation. Yeah.
It's
let
very
me let me give you one more, and it's gonna segue me into the Lift for Soul card. True story. This was like 2 weeks ago, and before I talk about homie, I'm gonna tell you where I know him from. One of the first freestyle haymakers that I ever saw on video, on camera, was Jin versus Shells. Do you know the moment that I'm talking about?
Jin versus Shells.
It was a tournament. It was a big tournament, big stage, big crowd. I forget the name of the tournament. Pardon me. It's a very popular name. It's slipping my mind right now. But
was it Blaze?
Basically,
no, it probably wasn't that. I'm sorry.
Basically,
I'm
Shells. Remember, Shells wasn't just a battle rapper. He was on a lot of mixtapes. He was a mixtape artist. He was a DVD guy and a mixtape artist. But Shells basically was predicting everything that Jin was saying while Jin was rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to finish his bars, trying to make him sound and look simplistic. And in the middle of Jin's round, he started freestyling. He said, "You want to finish my shit? Okay, finish this bar. Nigga, suck my." He didn't say nigga. He said, "Suck my." And then he put the mic in Shell's face. And he wanted to complete it and say dick. And Shells caught himself. The whole crowd went crazy. The whole crowd went off. Fast forward to my point that's going to segue me into Lift Is Soul 3. Jin actually lives close to my neighborhood in Staten Island. He goes back and forth from New York to Korea because he actually does a lot of stand-up comedy now. You know what I'm saying? And he still does, and he still does some music. But he's back and forth between New York and Korea. And I bumped into him at least 3 times before finally talking to him. I've seen him like 3 times around my area. And 2 weeks ago, it was like the 3rd time I seen him, I walked up on him and I said, "Yo, Jin, right?" And he said, "ARP, right?" You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And I'm like, "What's good, homie?"
So he definitely keeps his ear to the battle rap streets.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And I'm like, and this is how much he keeps his ear to the scene. You would think that he's non-existent. He's not around the scene at all. Shake hands, what's up, homie? Boom, 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 boom. I said, "Yo, I got an event coming up that's going to be a winner-take-all battle with Averb. It would be crazy if you was one of the judges." And he said, "That's the February card, right?" And I was like, "This motherfucker." You know what I'm saying? He said, "That's the February card, right?" And I said, "Yo." And then we exchanged numbers real quick, you know what I'm saying? And we was texting each other, and he was like, "Yo, what's the exact date in February?" And I was like, "February 4th. And he's like, "If I'm not in Korea that first week of February, I'm there to be one of the judges for the Averb battle." And I was like, "That would be a sick look because the fans haven't seen me in so long." So shout out to Jin. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jin.
Inside information right there, for real. He could have kept that to himself, hid it, and then just brought him out there. That's inside information right there. You heard it here first.
Yeah. So Jin, if Jin is in New York on February 4th, he will be one of the judges for the Averb battle.
That's so dope.
You know
That's so dope.
Yeah.
That is really dope.
Y'all got me here reminiscing, thinking about old battles now, for real, man.
Nah, we ain't even gonna do it. Like between you and me right now, you see we're going on a tangent too much. You know what I mean? Let's talk about this Lift Is Soul.
Oh yeah, go
right.
ahead.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk. You know what? Before we do that, because you had just mentioned about the last event that a lot of people didn't know. Like, shout out because y'all got my boy. Y'all got Brazzy. That was AFM. That he came doing the song battles as well as Omega. That battle that you had with Excel and Floss. What was it? Floss the God. Like where I guess. Like I'm not even gonna ask where you found these people, but like that S1K, like that whole installment, is that just, what are we doing with that as far as the development on that? And are they gonna be, they're graduating from the what would that be, like, I guess the smaller platform to the big platform?
They can. That you can graduate, and I don't want to come off like it's a system. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to go through a PG before you get on, a different type of card. That's not RBE. That's not what works for us. So 1SK is not a system. You know what I'm saying? Basically, this is what happened. Since day one, we have always put new talent, new faces, and unknown people on our cards. We've always thrown them on big cards. On New Year Order, with a bunch of names like Averb and Goods and Sway Sever and all of that, and Big Cannon and Moneybags, you see us throw on a guy named Blu-ray, a guy named Oops. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Blu-ray Blade? Wait, Blu-ray.
No, not Blu-ray. Not even Blu-ray Blade. A different Blu-ray that has only like 2 on-camera battles. That's from Staten Island. You know what I'm saying? You probably never even seen him before. Same thing with all of our other cards. You've seen us book people like Jay Word, Sammy Wild 100, Focus. Nobody knew who Focus was. A lot of up and coming talent. Who else? K Walker. Just so much people. But what happened is we were booking cards that was like 8, 9 battles. You know what I'm saying? These events was very long, and it's hard. It's hard to get everything done. You know what I'm saying? And the events get so crazy. Then we started doing shorter events, 5 battles, 6 battles, Now what happens is we start to get in a position where we're not able to get all the new guys on, new faces on as much. You know what I'm saying? So like you take like Blood, Sweat, and Tears 4 that went down in July. The first battle on that card was JC versus Mr. Mills. There was no up-and-comers on the card. You know what I mean? Now you got a lot of leagues, they don't throw up-and-comers on big cards. RBE has always done that. We've always thrown, like if you go to Blood, Sweat, and Tears 3, which was a headline of Arsenal versus Show Off. On that card, we had a guy named P. Dot, not B. Dot, P. Dot versus Breezy Knights from Coliseum. So you get two guys like that with a very low profile on a card that has a main event of Arsenal Show Off. You know what I'm saying? RBE might be the only league that you really see consistently do that. But to keep the events shorter and not have 9 battle cards, we created the 1SK system. And we said it'll be a little bit shorter, but then we could still get these guys in front of us, in front of the fan, and get their footage on the channel for the fans to really, really see some more new talent in the form of unlimited one-rounders. Now, I know they're unlimited, but you're not going to get a 50-minute upload from a one-rounder. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? That's why I watch like a battle like Danny Myers versus Young Cannon only once. I gotta nail my judging right on the first time because the battle's like fucking 55-minute upload. I just don't have that much time in my life. You know what I'm saying? But with a 1SK battle, y'all get like a 15-minute upload. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably going max. But I get the opportunity to see people. Shout to Does, Lawrence does, the whole team does, the fans do. They get some new footage on the RBE channel, which is, you know, one of the biggest platforms in battle rap. So it's our new, you know, series, particularly targeted towards the up-and-comers and giving them shots and giving them looks. Can you move from a 1SK to a Validation, a Lift His Soul, a Blood, Sweat, and Tears, starting 5? Of course. If you get up there and we be like, wow, he's got it, you can see it. I don't know about some of these other league owners, but me, I have the eyes, I have the ears, I have A&R skills, I have marketing skills, I have talent, you know, scouting skills, all of it. I can see it. I could see it in your first few bars. I could see it in your body language. I could see it in the way you promote yourself online. I could see so much, you know what I'm saying, in a very, very short amount of time. And I could say, you want to know what? That guy just had an unlimited one-rounder. We need to put him on Blood, Sweat, and Tears. I could see that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the 1SKs are for. And we're able to get back to that now on Lift His Soul 3, where you just mentioned Brazi. He's got a 1SK battle on such a big card. With all those legends on the card, you got Mount Rushmore people on the card, like Arsenal. People say that he's on the Mount Rushmore. He's one of the GOATs. You know what I'm saying? And you got Brazi on the same card as him. You see what I'm saying? That's what 1SKs do.